Dr. Edwards' lab was always a fascinating place to learn about death. A bit less so now that I'm quite the expert.
Oh, did I miss cleaning up some bit of that last corpse? Oh, Fordham, what brings you down here?
Hello, Edwards. I was wondering if I could pick your brain.
Yes, of course. There's one in a jar over there, and I may have another one around here somewhere.
That coroner humor never gets old, does it?
Anyway, let me know what you want to discuss. This fellow's not going anywhere.
Gerichtsmediziner sind schon Klassiker. Das ist ein sehr, sehr schönes Bild auf jeden Fall. Ich muss sagen, von den ganzen bisherigen Szenen und so weiter ist das, glaube ich, jetzt schon auf jeden Fall eine der besten. Also das ist echt gut gemacht. Wow. Der Totenschädel im Vordergrund.
Well, at least he died with a smile on his face. Sort of. Looks rather fresh. There's a plaque at the base of the jar that says H. Putnam. I'm pretty sure I saw Edwards weighing his lunch on this once. A fine example of well-developed deltoids, latissimus dorsi, and gluteus maximi.
Whatever you say.
The brain is truly a fascinating organ. If only more people used it. You've seen one dissected torso, you've seen them all. It sure is a lot of rubbish crammed inside our upper bodies, isn't it?
True.
I remember when Edwards used to keep his collection of preserved reproductive organs on this shelf. He must be getting soft in his old age. Or perhaps that's exactly what happened to his collection.
Oh, Bill, du bist ein schrecklicher, nicht mehr ganz Mensch. Wow.
It's important to keep your hands clean when dealing with dead bodies. After all, you never know where they've been. Until after the post-mortem exam, anyway. I wonder if Edwards ever got around to fixing this typewriter. The letter E being out of alignment always made his reports a nightmare to read. This provides the room with just the right amount of heat. Unlike the incinerators in the crematorium. Talk about overkill.
Pardon me, Edwards.
Yes?
Cooler Typ. Hellboy.
Keeping busy down here, Edwards?
Oh, you know me. I've always got my hands in someone.
Edwards always did have a way with words.
This postmortem was just a formality, really. The victim died of a gunshot wound to the head. Last week, though, we had a real kicker. An old man was brought in, and though he appeared quite dead, I was told that he'd been in a trance for over half a year. Apparently, he was hypnotized right at the point of death, and somehow managed to remain alive, in a fashion. In any case, when I began performing the exam, his entire body decayed into a putrefied mess within minutes. It was fascinating.
Should you really be giving me these details, Edwards?
Oh, hell, I don't mind telling you, Miles. It's not like you're going to go tell Snelling. Besides, you're the only one who's come to see me all week. Dead people make lousy conversationalists.
Hey, I take offense to that statement.
Ich wünschte manchmal, du wärst wirklich so wie andere Tote.
So, Snelling got promoted to chief, did he?
Yes, not too long after you left. Personally, I think he took advantage of your situation to change things around here.
Was it really that much of a shock? Bill and I weren't exactly the most well-liked detectives on the force.
But you were respected. You two solved over 350 cases in 15 years. You were an institution.
Damn right we were. It's so easy for people to resent their more successful peers.
Ah, Edwards. Nice to know someone missed us. You didn't examine Bill after he died, did you?
Ha! He wishes.
No, there was nothing inconclusive about his death. He died from impact after falling from the roof of a building. Why? Was there something else I should have looked into?
No, I was just curious.
As fond as I am of Edwards, it would have been a bit much for him to go poking around my insides.
I found this piece of burned cloth at the crime scene. Could you take a look at it for me?
What do you need me to look at exactly?
It appears to have some oily residue on it.
Interesting. I'm afraid I have my hands full right now, but you can feel free to use my workbench if you'd like.
To do what exactly?
Surely they taught you something about basic chemical analysis when you worked here.
Yes, well, I always let Bill handle the more technical aspects of our cases.
A real pity I'm not around to help you anymore, isn't it?
But I'll have a look and see if something comes back to me.
Okay. Ich habe schon mal meine Notizen rausgeholt.
I've got these human ashes from a crime scene.
Straight to the point. I knew I liked you
Alles
for a
bis zum
reason,
Ende
Fordham.
aufgespart, aber okay.
Who do they belong to?
Desiree Lathan. She was a Gascon Grand Dame.
Oh, of course. I heard about that case. She was found burned in her home, wasn't she?
That's right.
I meant to go over there later today.
Well, then I suppose I've saved you the journey. Would you have a look at these?
Does this mean you're officially on the case?
Not as such. In fact, I'd appreciate it if you didn't mention I'd been here.
Ah, clandestine operation. Sneaking around under Snelling's nose.
I don't have much of a choice. I'm pretty much persona non grata around here these days.
Well, you're always welcome in my mortuary. Preferably while still breathing, of course. Anyway, I'll just take those ashes off your hands. I'm sure your social life will soon improve.
Yes, I was making quite the impression.
This is an interesting choice of container.
It was either that or carry them around in my bare hands.
Well, I'm a bit busy right now, but I should have something for you within the next couple of hours. But you do realize the information won't be exclusive to you. I'll have to pass it on to the detectives on the case.
Naturally. That just gives me more of an incentive to work quickly. Thanks. That's all I needed to know for the moment.
Anytime, Fordham.
Okay, jetzt bin ich froh, dass ich die anderen Sachen schon vorher gemacht habe. Gehen wir an den Arbeitstisch und schauen uns mal ganz kurz an, ob wir was machen können.
It's been ages since we got to do any type of chemical analysis. This will be grand.
Dr. Edwards, could you remind me what it is I'm meant to be doing?
Yes, of course. Go ahead and get as much of that oily residue from the cloth into the petri dish. Good. Now add some of the chemical reagent in the red bottle to the dish.
Aha! The oil turned orange.
Yes! The reagent has caused a chemical reaction and changed the oil's color. Isn't science fun?
Yay!
Quite. But how does this help me?
I have some samples of the most common types of flammable oils on the shelf. Go ahead and add them to the test tubes. Good. Now simply check each one with the reagent to see if you can find a match.
And if I don't find one?
Then I suggest going out and looking for more oil samples.
Ach du Scheiße, okay.
Miles, the petri dish is empty.
Ach so, ja, okay. Also, Moment. Wahrscheinlich wird es keines von denen sein, sondern ein besonderes, das wir noch testen müssen. Nope.
Too bad. I would have bet on.
Was haben wir hier? Öl aus Kohle, Kerosene. Ja, Kerosene klingt doch gar nicht mal so unwahrscheinlich, oder? Nope.
So much for kerosene being the culprit.
Okay, und Walöl wird es wahrscheinlich auch nicht sein, sondern was ganz, ganz Eigenes. Ich habe schon so eine Ahnung, wo wir das herkriegen könnten. Ach.
Well, oil be damned. Looks like
Well.
that's a match. Oh, you love it. Looks like ammonium chloride. Won't be of much use to us in this experiment.
Der war gut. Der war echt gut. Der war richtig gut. Also wirklich, also wow. Ich bin beeindruckt. Wow.
All the tools an artist would ever need. Brushes. There's also several jars full of clear liquid. Interesting. Huh. This is linseed oil. It's used as a drying agent for oil paintings. It would be a good idea to take a sample of this, Miles. Especially now that nobody's looking.
Mhm. Good boy. Good boy. Ich habe nämlich eine gute Ahnung, wohin das hier führen wird.
Now that we've got some linseed oil, it's probably worth testing.
So, komm mal her, mein kleines Leinöl. Sehr gut. Und dann noch ein bisschen chemische Reagenz. Well, I'll be
I'll be
damned.
damned. We've got ourselves a match. I wonder if Edwards knows anything pertinent about this stuff.
Tja, Edwards, mein Freund, wir haben einen kleinen Hinweis gefunden.
Pardon me, Edwards.
Yes?
What do you know about linseed oil?
It's an oil made from flaxseed that has many uses. Most commonly, it's used to dry things like varnish or oil paints.
Ich hab's so gesagt.
Some people even eat it for health benefits. I hear it goes well with a bit of quark.
And it's flammable?
As most oils are, yes. Where are you going with this?
The oily residue on that rag is linseed oil.
Fascinating.
But I found no trace of anything used to light a fire at the crime scene.
Uh-oh, he's getting that gleam in his eye.
Wait just a moment. Linseed oil. Of course! Anytime linseed oil is used, extreme caution must be taken to dry cure rags that may be soaked in it. That's because when linseed oil dries and oxidizes, it releases heat. A pile of rags soaked in linseed oil in a confined space runs the risk of spontaneously combusting.
How long would this take exactly?
A few days, at least.
Interesting. It's a rather uncertain means of murder, but it's excellent for appearing accidental.
It's certainly not the most far-fetched conclusion you've ever come to.
Have you had a chance to look at those ashes I gave you?
Yes,
Oh,
I have.
das ging schnell.
Unfortunately, there isn't much I can tell you. The victim burned to death at a very high temperature. These ashes are greasy and putrid because of liquefied fat from the body, which burned like a candle.
Danke.
It's quite all right, Edwards. I appreciate the information nonetheless.
Well, just so you don't go away empty-handed, have a copy of my report. Maybe it will be of some use.
Dankeschön dafür. Okay.
Thanks. That's all I needed to know for the moment.
Anytime, Fordham.
Okay, lass mich nochmal ganz kurz bitte dieses Dokument anschauen. Hier sind Dokumente, nicht wahr? Statt bei der Folge von Brennung, Grund des Feuers bisher unbekannt. Ja gut, ne? Die werden ja an der Uni reden, John Usher reden, okay. Okay, reden wir doch mal mit Mr. Usher über das Ganze. Ich glaube, wir haben schon unseren Verdächtigen soweit, ne? Wir müssen jetzt nur noch etwas finden, um ihn, naja, auch schuldig sein zu lassen.
Yes?
If I may ask, what is the reason for Mr. Usher's refusal to see anyone today?
He has a rather important trial starting tomorrow and doesn't want to run the risk of falling ill.
Falling ill?
Mr. Usher is very particular about his health. Very particular.
I see. Sir, it is of the utmost importance that I speak with Mr. Usher.
And as I said, he isn't taking visitors today.
But it's in regards to his client, Desiree Lathan. Or should I say, former client.
Miss Lathan found another attorney?
No, I'm sorry to be the one to have to inform you, but she's dead.
Dead? I had no idea.
No? It was in today's newspaper.
I haven't read it yet. Mr. Usher forbids it in the office.
But surely he's read it. Just because he forbids you reading the paper in the office.
No, I mean he forbids the presence of newspapers in the office. He fears they bring in outside germs.
I see.
In any case, if what you say is true, I'll need some sort of proof.
I suppose just bringing in a copy of the newspaper is out of the question, then. We'll have to find another way.
Ja.
Perhaps Mr. Usher will see me when he sees this.
Oh, what's that?
A report from Dr. Malcolm Edwards, the city coroner, confirming Miss Lathan's untimely demise.
Let me see that. Oh my. Wait one moment, would you?
Sehr gut.
Martin, what is the meaning of this?
The gentleman who brought that is a private investigator. He's waiting outside to see you.
Send him in then.
You heard him, Mr. Fordham. You may go inside and see Mr. Usher.
Thank you kindly.
Ja, wirklich, vielen Dank. Ich wusste nicht, dass es so einfach gehen würde.
So, a private investigator, are you?
Yep.
That's right. Miles Fordham is my name.
Jonas Usher, a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Pleasure's all mine.
So, it would seem that Miss Lathan has shuffled off the mortal coil, as it were.
I'm sorry to say that is indeed the case.
Please come in, have a seat. Make yourself comfortable. I only ask that you kindly wash your hands in the basin first, and limit what you touch in here.
This one seems a bit on edge, doesn't he?
Ist okay.
Thank you, Mr. Fordham. I appreciate your cooperation.
Natürlich, natürlich, wirklich. Also bitte, da bin ich dabei.
Stern-looking lady. Is there anything more boring than books on law? Just reading the titles is making me drowsy. Usher seems to like keeping his guests at a distance.
Ja, germophobe.
Mr. Usher, I have some questions for you.
And hopefully I have your answers.
Ich wollte eigentlich schon vor einer Viertelstunde aufgehört haben aufzunehmen. Aber ich spüre gerade dieses Verlangen, diesen Fall zu lösen. Und ich spüre gerade das Ende näher rücken und der Typ hat bei dem Superbart. Wow. Hi. Es ist toll. Okay.
How long have you been practicing law, Mr. Usher?
Usher and Price has been operating since 1805. I took over from my father 15 years ago. The stress hasn't helped my heartburn, I can tell you that. Why, just last night I was tossing and turning because I couldn't stand the burning in my throat. That's why I've got these bags under my eyes, you know.
Ah, yes. And Mr. Price?
He's still here, although I think he'll probably be retiring soon as well. But the law firm has done well over the years, and I have a feeling it'll do even better in the years to come.
Oh, why is that?
We're currently beginning a group litigation against Royal Maverick for the Lygia disaster. I'm confident that we'll recover quite a significant sum for the families of those killed. You weren't by chance affected by the disaster, were you?
Thankfully, I wasn't, no.
Shit. You could have joined the class action and done quite well when we win.
You know, I always thought we detectives made our living off human tragedy.
What can you tell me about Desiree Lathan?
She was a lovely woman. I'm saddened to hear of her unfortunate passing.
How long had you been her attorney?
She retained me some 10 years ago, I believe.
That's quite a long time.
Yes, I remember I had just gotten over a bout of melancholia and been able to work in nearly a month. I didn't think I'd make it out of that, but luckily things took a turn for the better. Miss Lathan came to see me, and I've served as her attorney ever since.
Would you say Miss Lathan is a wealthy woman?
Indeed I would. Her estate is worth a significant sum. Of course, you understand that this is confidential information, so I cannot tell you the exact amount.
Yes, of course. Can you think of anyone who may have wanted to harm Miss Lathan?
No, I can't. What makes you think that someone actually killed her?
It seems the most plausible explanation.
Miss Lathan was getting on in years. It's likely she may have developed a case of pneumonia. That's the most common killer of the elderly. You
Du
know.
hast den
I had
Todesbericht,
it when I
oder?
was younger. Most unpleasant. Constant coughing, spitting up phlegm, rattling in the lungs. Thankfully, I made a full recovery.
But supposing that was the cause of death, how would it explain the fact that her body was completely burned?
She was a smoker. Perhaps she was having a cigarette when she died and dropped it on the bed, causing it to catch fire.
I found no cigarette butts at the crime scene.
I'm merely offering my opinion, Mr. Fordham. You can take it or leave it.
I think we should leave it.
Dieser Typ. Der irritiert mich. Und ich finde ihn herrlich, aber er irritiert mich.
I found this letter in Miss Lathan's bedroom, which mentions that she recently changed her will. Could you tell me a bit more about the circumstances surrounding this change?
That's not an uncommon occurrence. People change their wills all the time. Relatives and friends fall in and out of favor constantly.
Had Miss Lathan made changes to her will previously?
No, this was the first time.
What change did she make exactly?
Just a change to her beneficiary. Nothing out of the ordinary.
And when did this change occur?
About 4 months ago, if I recall correctly. Yes, it was definitely in June, because I'd been in bed with a nasty stomach flu at the end of May. That was no fun, let me tell you. I think I lost nearly 6 pounds from the constant trips to the WC. Couldn't keep a thing down, and whatever did stay down soon came out the other end, if you get my meaning.
I'd say his meaning is regrettably impossible to avoid.
Ich liebe ihn.
Who did Miss
That's
Lathan
toll.
name as her new beneficiary?
Mr. Fordham, please. You know I couldn't possibly tell you that. There is such a thing as attorney-client privilege.
Oh,
I'm aware of that. However, Miss Lathan is deceased. Therefore, it stands to reason that she is in fact no longer your client.
True, but her estate is still in my hands. I'm not going to betray her trust just because she's dead.
Mr. Usher, I've noticed from your rules and habits that you seem to have a particular aversion to germs. Why is that, if I may ask?
I've been ill most of my life, Mr. Fordham. I was a sickly child, and unfortunately my condition hasn't improved with age. It's a miracle I'm still alive. That's why I'm so careful about exposing myself to germs.
I see.
How's my color? Do I look pale to you?
Not particularly.
I saw myself in the mirror this morning and thought I looked a bit peaked. Also, my leg has been hurting more than usual, which has been cause for concern.
Nah, you've really done it, Miles.
Yes, well, moving on. About Miss Lathan's beneficiary.
I told you, Mr. Fordham. I can't divulge information protected under attorney-client privilege.
Do you not find it suspicious, Mr. Usher, that Miss Lathan died under such mysterious circumstances only 4 months after naming a new beneficiary? You said yourself she was wealthy. Does it not make sense that someone might have wanted her inheritance?
I suppose it's not entirely out of the question.
Right. So tell me the name of Miss Lathan's beneficiary so I can determine if this was, in fact, a murder.
Very well. It was a man named Roger DeVay.
Interesting.
Done.
Do you know him?
His name's come up before in my investigation. Do you have his address?
Yes, it's 775 Pumblechook Place in Chumley.
That'll do nicely. Thank you, Mr. Usher.
Und versenkt.
Thank you for your help, Mr. Usher.
The pleasure is all mine, Mr. Fordham.
Treffer und versenkt. Ganz ehrlich, den Typen haben wir. Das ist unser Hauptverdächtiger, unser Täter. Ich würde es nicht anders sehen, also das passt alles perfekt zusammen. Wir müssen nur noch genau herausfinden, wie er das angestellt hat. Na, warte mal, wir wissen es ja schon.